Hello, guys. How are you guys? I'm on a new phone, so it's kind of weird. I don't know how this is working yet. Let's see. What is everybody up to? I don't know if I'm getting comments through the right way. You guys, let me log. Oh, yes, I am. Jennifer, I did have a great trip. It was awesome. I was so sad to leave. Uh-oh. Somebody on here. Dylan is here. Hi, Dylan.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. I just had a long day, but I'm ready for tonight, so.
Well, you look pretty.
Oh, thank you. You do too.
Thank you. I'm on a new light, like in camera, so it's adjusting on its own and it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of brightening up.
And now it's like, and I'm not even it's my phone because I got a new phone and it's doing it on its own, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer says, hi, Dylan.
Hey.
So today we're going to talk about a case of a young man named Kendrick Johnson. Actually, I'm going to show you the case with pictures and then come back on camera and talk to Dylan and Amanda about it. Amanda says, sorry, she's a few minutes behind. That's okay. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to turn my camera off until I get done with that part, and then I'll come back, okay? Let's see. So I won't be able to see the comments for a minute, but I'll catch back up. There we go. Okay, so on January 10th of 2013, 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson never came home from school. His mom expected him to be late because he had a basketball game, but when midnight came around, she started to worry and called 911 to report him missing. Mom tells the police he doesn't have a phone, by the way. Here is a photo of him and his mother. The next morning comes, still no Kendrick. So his mom happens to be a school bus driver, and he usually rides to school with her. When she gets to the high school the next day, she goes to talk to the teachers and let them know what's going on and to ask if anyone knows anything. At the same time, an officer investigating the case comes to the school to look and ask around. Also happening at this time, Kendrick's lifeless body is being discovered upside down in a wrestling mat by a teacher and his classmates. And these are the mats. They all stand up, and they said that the kids like sometimes would use them as like a locker. I think they had to pay for their gym lockers. So they would throw their stuff up on the wrestling mat, whatever. Okay. So Coach Philip Pipelo told police during his life sports class some girls had been on top of the wrestling mats, which were stacked in the corner of the gym, and they alerted other students who then alerted him, saying they thought they had found someone in the mats. He said he climbed the mats, and once he was on top, he saw feet inside. He climbed down and started pulling away the mats from the outside, trying to get to the mat to get the person and see what was going on, and the students helped him. Once he realized the person was deceased, he got upset and couldn't remember who called 911, but he did gather the students together that the police would need to talk to. So there are many red flags that make this seem like it is much more than an accidental fall. I'm going to go through those red flags with you guys. I'm nervous, y'all. Forgive me because I have not done a video like this. I've got like a 10-page paper I've written out that I'm going to read, and then after discuss it all with you guys and Dylan and Amanda. So, okay, red flag number 1. A Facebook post the day he was found was reported to police that said, quote, when you start messing with the goons, bodies start showing up. Names have been retracted because they're referencing juveniles, but the person who reported the post said Kendrick had been messing with someone's girlfriend. Red flag number 2. Initially, the detective who tried to obtain the surveillance footage was not able to get it because of technical problems. It figures. So, red flag number 3. The school was supposed to hold a vigil for him, and for some reason they refused. The students were requesting it, and they wouldn't do it. Here is what they put out, an announcement to let people know they weren't going to hold the vigil, which is so strange. Why would they not want to let the kids mourn their friend? I don't know. Okay, number 4, red flag number 4. The coroner was not called for 6 hours instead of immediately, like Georgia law requires, and the coroner was not happy about it. He actually said the crime scene had been compromised and there was no cooperation from law enforcement. Okay, I'm going to go back to him for a second. Red flag number 5. The sheriff came out and said there was no foul play and this was an accident before the autopsy was completed. And he said Kendrick died from being upside down. They hadn't even finished interviewing all of the students yet. And red flag number 6, his shoulder span was 19 inches and the opening of the mat was only 15 inches. So I don't know how he would have fell down in there going after shoes, but we'll get there. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the crime scene. Okay, one big thing. At the crime scene, there were blood stains on the wall. Now, a test was done to show that it was blood, a blood presumptive test. But they tested and found it wasn't Kendrick's, and they did not test anyone else, which makes no sense, but whatever. It's not the first thing in this case. There are so many things that do not make sense. Okay, now, also, which I thought I had a picture of it, but I guess I didn't. Okay, there were sneakers, 3 pair of sneakers, a pair of Adidas, a pair of Nikes, and then there were a pair of sneakers with orange shoelaces. I thought I had a photo of those sneakers, but I guess I don't. But anyways, it looked like there was blood on them, and they did do the test, and it came back negative. The interesting thing is they were not confiscated. Okay, now, this Hollister hoodie was also there. Some people have looked at some of the photos of it and said it seems like there's blood on the sleeve, but it also was not confiscated. And the final thing from the crime scene, which is really interesting, is he had an LG phone in his left pocket, and if you remember, his mom said he didn't have a phone. So the phone was sent to Georgia Bureau of Investigations, GBI, which I've heard that's like a local branch of the FBI. I'm not sure about that, but GBI was responsible for all of the crime lab reports in this case, which is interesting. But so they sent the phone off to get forensics off of it, and there was never a report back. Now, red flag number 11,111, there was plenty of issues with the surveillance. There were time discrepancies, time gaps. Some of the footage was blurry. And CNN actually hired a specialist who said the footage was not the original footage. See, there's surveillance footage all around, all throughout the school. And apparently, this specialist says that the footage was altered. You can look it up. It's on CNN's YouTube channel. Okay. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting. So, Kendrick had supposedly been in a fight before with a student named Brian Bell. Brian was caught on surveillance along with his brother Brandon near the scene at the time of the incident. Their dad, Rick Bell, is an FBI agent. So, they got friends in high places all throughout the whole entire system down there, apparently. The Bell brothers' mother claims they were friends with Kendrick. Here they are with their dad. Their mother claims they were friends with him. Police had tried to interview the brothers, but their dad put a stop to that. they were the only two students who were not interviewed, and they wouldn't talk to police. So, okay, and quickly before I get to a few tips that have came in and then chat with the girls, I want to talk about the autopsies. So let me see. There were, okay, the first autopsy, which I have photos of some of this, but it's really graphic. You can find anything online. You can find videos of the scene at the time. You can find photos of it. I mean, it's really, really graphic, and I didn't want to put that in here on you guys. But, okay, we'll change it off then for a minute. Okay, the first autopsy that was done, it was conducted by GBI, and it confirmed the sheriff's original theory. The cause of death was positional asphyxia. They said all organs were present and in their natural positions. Okay, so the family is not happy with that, and they get another autopsy done. It takes a little while though, but they finally have a second autopsy done. Now, all of his organs were missing. I can't believe I'm even saying that, but his organs were gone and he was stuffed with newspaper. Now, I know that sometimes if a funeral home is low on funds, I've heard of them doing like weird stuff like that. But the thing about this is GBI and the funeral home both blame each other. They both say all the organs were there when they had the body and when the body left them. And the results were very different of this autopsy. The cause of death was blunt force trauma to the neck and jaw area. Okay, now there has been a lot of tips and a lot of people talking since this happened. I'm going to talk to you about three main ones. So first, right after all of this happened, police received an email saying that people were talking it was kind of, someone told my friend, like he said, she said, but you can see on the screen, it said some people were talking saying someone killed Kendrick over a girl. The name is redacted, but it does say that the person had a brother who had gotten drunk and said the same thing, which is interesting that they mention a brother. Okay, so then this young man, Dalton Ray Chauncey, he comes to police and says he was present during a conversation where two individuals, which is also redacted. A lot of this stuff is redacted when they're dealing with juveniles until they're an adult. Like if they're a juvenile at the time of the report, it will be redacted. But we can get creative and figure out who he's talking about. So he comes to police and says, I was present during a conversation where two individuals were talking, saying they were responsible for his death and that it was over a girl. Then he goes back for a second interview and says that he lied about everything and he's arrested for lying to police. Well, his mother comes out and gives a statement saying she doesn't think he was lying. He was interviewed without her, and she thinks he was pressured to say he was lying by the police, which is interesting. And our third and final would be Ryan Hernandez. Now, this is just a little bit of his statement, but it's quite long. You can find it online anywhere. So Ryan Hernandez, this is 3 years later. Now, these people are not juveniles anymore, so it's not redacted. Ryan Hernandez says Brandon Bell told him his younger brother Brian killed Kendrick over a girl, and says that Kendrick was hit with a 45-pound dumbbell in the neck. Now, remember that autopsy said blunt force trauma to the neck was the cause of his death. So he also, in his statement, calls out police and says they deleted an hour of video footage and says they had the organs removed to interfere with efforts to establish the time of death. Now, right after he gave this statement, he was arrested for trespassing, and he was not given a bond, which is weird for trespassing. You would think he would get a bond, and that's kind of where that ends. So there was a lot of pressure to close the case from the courts and the FBI. I mean, people in the FBI were reaching out to the sheriff's department, telling them, please hurry and get the case closed. You can find many things online like that. And then the attorney in charge resigned. His name was Michael Moore. He assigned the case to another attorney who also resigned. And recently, this article right here, I think, is from March of 2021. The Lowndes County Sheriff's Office has reopened the case. And there also has been a possible audio confession. Some people say it's a hoax. 13 Now News, I found a statement. They said that police told them it wasn't credible. But I know Amanda has kind of looked into that. So I was going to talk to her about some of that. And then that's kind of all I've got with the pictures. Let me, get Amanda on here. Hello.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm here. Sorry, I'm a little late.
Okay, I'm reading back through the comments because I couldn't see them. Let's see. That's okay that you're late. I had to get through that whole, explanation of kind of what's going on.
I've been listening.
Yeah, it's a lot. Let's see. Everyone's saying one big cover up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, K9 Rescue. Melissa, it is scary that cover-ups occur like this every day. And the Bell brothers' father, he was an FBI agent. So,
I believe I read that he was something that had to do with taxes and fraud in FBI. I read that a few times, actually. So, yeah, but I haven't it's something that I read from comments. It's not something that I like. So it's something that I really want to find out,
Yeah, me too. I cannot believe that something like this that they can cover something up like this. I mean, I can believe it because I know corruption is everywhere. But then when you see it clear as day lined out like this, wow, it's unbelievable. People are just, what do you think, Dylan?
I just think there's just too much to it that it can't be like an accident. I just don't see him getting into the mat like that and it's perfectly rolled up. I would feel like it would be kind of more open than it was, but I don't see how he could have why would he, dive in there after a shoe when he could have just unrolled it or even, like a man. Yeah. Like we kind of discussed that earlier.
And I told you guys on the phone, he had headphones in his hand. So he's diving in after a shoe with headphones that are not wireless. This was when they were still on a cord, you know what I mean? And here is the mat that actually you can see his feet, which is so pitiful. But it's not very wide. I mean, it's really not.
Yeah. I don't know. I would take a mat, especially that low. I actually thought they were higher. Can you go back to that picture again with the mats?
Yeah.
I actually thought they were higher. I would definitely, I thought they were 6 feet, 7 feet high, and
I bet they are 6
feet. I would definitely knock them over if my shoe was down there. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I said this earlier to you guys on the group chat, I just, now that I see that it's lower, that's even more, I wouldn't climb on top of it and try to get my shoe that was all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense at all. But also what doesn't make sense is the amount of blood. Have you guys seen, I wouldn't put it in this video, but the amount of blood is unreal. I don't understand how that much blood would get there if he wasn't injured. Now, if he was hit in the neck with a big heavy weight, that would make sense. But
yeah,
I don't know. It just does not.
Yeah. I would actually message 2 people that would know that answer, and I've just been waiting for their reply and everything. But would there be any blood if somebody suffocated or something and downward, upside down? Would there be any signs of any kind of blood coming out of the mouth or the nose or something, that would happen, that would occur during that kind of state? So I've just been waiting on the reply. I was hoping they replied before this live, but they haven't.
Well, let us know when they do, because I have no idea. I don't know if when his heart stopped, maybe And I had seen a theory about that. So, like the sheriffs tried to say that it was from when his heart stopped.
Sorry if my side's loud. A truck just went by.
That's okay. But anyways, okay. And another thing I was going to say was think about how many people had to screw up doing their job for this to happen. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, there had to be so many people involved to cover it up. I don't know.
I mean, they really overlooked a lot of things. I mean, it just seemed like that they did from what I could tell when I was reading through things.
Yeah, or covered a lot of things up.
Yeah, or didn't even like take some evidence like you had mentioned, the blood, and they didn't test to see who it could have been, or if it was one of those, suspects that people are kind of like up in the air about. I mean,
anyone knew about the cuts on his back and some of the autopsy photos. I saw that, and I'm wondering if that's from his organs being removed. I don't know.
That whole thing, the organs being removed, confuses me so much. I have no idea even what to think of that. I believe it was the second. Was it the second autopsy that said that they never, the funeral home never got his organs or anything like that? It was either the second or third. I can't remember at this point, but if anybody in chat knows that, please comment. But I don't know. That just confuses me. Like, when that was, why they were removed. And I mean, I know during embalming you have to do that, I believe,
Yeah. But I know it confuses me too. Like, well, I don't think you have to do it. I think it depends, but I'm not sure. Well, I guess if you're embalmed, you do, but sometimes they bury people and they don't embalm them, maybe, or I'm not sure. But it doesn't make sense if GBI is saying the organs were in the body when it left us, and then the funeral home is saying, the organs, if they're all saying they were there, then obviously something's going on. And it was interesting that Ryan Hernandez, the statement that he gave saying that the organs were taken off to try to throw off the time of death. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's what I go back to. That's the only thing that I can think of, like that's just really weird. By the way, I heard earlier you were asking about GBI, and that is the FBI, but Georgia, I believe. Colorado has CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigation. So it's the same thing. I believe it's in Georgia. So
K9 Rescue said maybe they had their training in Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, though.
There's something in the water and the air in Colorado, I'll tell you that.
My goodness.
Those poor parents, though. I mean, they're everywhere trying to get. Can you imagine if something happened to your kids like that, and then and it was covered up, and you're like screaming at the top of your lungs, "Hello, help! Like, look at this huge cover up," and then nobody, I don't know, helps you. It just
mountains. The way that I am, I would move mountains. I'm loud, Alec. I'd move mountains, just like his mom.
Yeah, for sure. So tell Amanda, you were saying earlier that the body language of the Bell brothers, you were kind of talking about that. You want to talk about that?
Yes. I don't know. I've always read books and stuff like that about body language and lie detecting and stuff. Honestly, I feel like nobody can really detect lie detecting, no matter, body movements. Body movements are like emotions and how they feel and stuff like that. Like, there's no way to really tell, like, oh, because somebody bite their lip, they're lying or whatever. That just means they don't want to tell something. That just may mean that they know something, but they don't want to tell. That doesn't mean that they, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that come into fact. Like, people think that just because people cross their arms or they sway, they say, oh, the Chris Watts thing, it's like, there's so many things that come into play with that. Like, that doesn't just mean that they're lying, or because they don't look at cameras, or they bite their lip or they lick their lips. They say that, like, when you bite their lips, they're not wanting to say something, basically. And that's true. Yeah. But there's lots of different things, like people have anxiety that make them anxious and that make them do things, so there's a lot of different things. It doesn't mean that they're lying. It just means that sometimes they're anxious or whatever. Here's a big thing. What is her name? Heidi Faramuska. Her fiance people were all over the place about him because he didn't look at cameras when he talked. He specifically said, I'm just going to look down at the cameras. I don't want to look at the camera or whatever. And just like, I don't know. I've read so many different things over the years, different books and stuff like that about body language and stuff. And I literally, the whole world said, oh, he's guilty. He's doing the Chris Watts thing with his arms across his chest and he's swaying back and forth. I literally saw him just like completely nervous, and not because he was guilty of anything. Just I saw anxiety, just like confusion. Just he didn't know what was going on. He was just, like he's not used to being in front of cameras and stuff like that, and this was kind of a high profile case at the time, So, and the whole world was like, oh, he's guilty. He's doing, like I said, the Chris Watts stance that, and I just saw him completely just like literally just not knowing anything that happened and just completely just nervous and being in front of camera and being in the situation and being asked these questions, normal responses. And then they found out it was one of her really good friends, and and then all the comments were like, "Oh, I knew he was innocent," and I was like, "What?" Like I never saw one single person, that said that.
Yep. I remember exactly. People gave him such a hard time. Yes. And by the way, Stardust Shorty,
I fixed it. Actually, yes, and he's doing very well, and he's in another relationship, and yes.
Oh, wow. See, not him. Yeah. I made a video about Heidi on TikTok and it did really well. I mean, over 200,000 views. And when a video blows up like that, you start getting people who know. I mean, even if it doesn't blow up like that, if it just gets a good amount of views, family members start to see it. And actually, one of her other ex-boyfriends from before Shane reached out to me. And on TikTok, and I've actually connected with a lot of families that way though, but he was kind of giving me some details about what was happening. I just cannot believe how long it's taken them to get in court.
I've been wanting to ask him, but I feel like he's just like on a different path, and just like if things come up, then he'll deal with it, so I really haven't wanted to message him or anybody of that family or anything like that about that, just to kind of give them their, but I haven't heard anything more about that case, but talking about body language and stuff like that, it's not just that easy to just say, just because somebody crosses their arms and they bite their lip or whatever, oh, they're lying, like that's what everybody's, there's so many different factors that go into it. I'm definitely not a professional. I've read different books all for like 6-7 years, and really studied it a lot. But that's just what I have found,
Yeah, it's still interesting. I mean, you can never look at something like that and think, oh, it's 100%, but it still is pretty interesting. Shizzle, this is Kendrick Johnson. He was a 17-year-old who was found rolled up inside of a wrestling mat. And rumor has it that he had been fighting with some boys who their father is an FBI agent. So it's like a massive cover up. If you rewind, I explained it all in the beginning. I probably sound ridiculous because I was really nervous, but yeah, that's who he is.
It sounded fun.
You're fine. You're fine, Allie. We love you.
I love you guys. The positional asphyxiation would have caused all the blood to settle to where the lowest part of the body was. That is why so much bloating.
I learned that today. Right. Yes. Correct.
I'm just curious about the blood, like, that they found in the, you know, on the mat. That's
Yes,
what I was.
that's what I want to know too. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I thought I had a photo of a shoe. See, it was interesting because so he's down inside the mat, right? And you can see in the photo there's a pair of shoes by his feet above him. Like he went down and they fell in after. But then underneath him, there's an Adidas shoe. The other one was outside of the mat, but there was one shoe in there with him under his face. There was blood all around it and no blood on the shoe, which was really interesting. Like I don't know how it happened, but.
And wasn't his arms like at his side or behind him, and they wasn't like up forward, like as he was, you know, like if he dove in, they would be like like in front of him.
Wasn't it? One was and one was behind.
At the photo I seen, he was like, the only thing I saw of his arms was what I sent y'all, that video of the crime scene where he was already kind of halfway out.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy. His shoes were often placed in the mat. His arm looked messed up, and yeah, and he had like major bruising. That photo that I have, could you see his shoes? Let's see. So you see his feet, but his shoes are actually like right. It's just not a good angle to see it, but they're like right there by his feet, closer to his butt, like in between his butt and his feet.
Allie, are you on your phone recording right now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was going to send you a closer shot of that.
Go ahead. I could probably
okay.
I could probably do it. Okay.
Another thing that I saw and when I was researching was like the surveillance videos in the school was like there was parts missing, like it could have been tampered with possibly. I know they didn't have everything like straight, you know what I'm saying? They had like little holes in time, basically.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Hi, Misty. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Amanda sent that. Here we go. Oh my gosh, good picture. Let me see if I can pull it up on here. Yeah, I saw Zav Girls live, and I took a screenshot of one of the photos on it, but it was just way too graphic to put here.
I know that Kendrick Lamar's father did like a thing. I have a picture of it right now on my phone, of him trying to go into the mat with his shoulders and stuff. Do you want me to send that to you?
Sure.
That picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll want to post it. Oops.
That is where the shoes were, you guys. Does that make sense that he fell down after his shoes and they're under his butt? Just
looks like somebody just put them there, to be honest.
Yeah, why would he, if he's going after his shoes, why would they be at the top?
It looks like somebody just put them at the bottom, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they rolled up, they put all of his stuff in there, including his headphones, and rolled him up in there. It is so, okay. You guys, this photo of his dad, wow. Oh my gosh, hold on. I saw something. Linnell, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So there we, oh my gosh, wow.
I'm going to send you another good one of his hands that I just found. Wait, let me make sure that it's his hands. Yep. Okay.
Send me all of them that we can show. I would show like the one that I took from Zav's video, but it's really graphic. But his lips were even swollen. I mean, his lips, it's like he had been beat.
I saw that. It's rough.
And the blood on the wall, which, let me pull that up. This irritates me because they're like, well, it could have been there for a while. You guys know as well as I do. There's cleaning crews that go through these schools and they clean.
Somebody said that too. Yes.
They could at least try to check it.
Or test some of the students and find out whose it is. I mean, and I also saw, I was going to tell y'all, now this is not a fact, so it wasn't in my little thing at the beginning, but Anonymous, you know those people who wear like the face mask and they do like all the exposed videos and different government stuff, and they do some creepy end of the world stuff. So they put out a video about this case, which it's on a weird channel with like not very many subscribers. But they said in their video that there was a trash can full of bloody paper towels that was quickly dismissed, saying a female had been injured the night before. And they also said in their video the sheriffs changed the original coroner's report, that there were 2 different reports.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Janet.
I'm looking for pictures to send to you, so give me a minute. Sorry.
That's okay. Melissa, that's okay. Don't even worry about it. Ain't no thing. Yes, bloody tissue.
I saw one with his hands in that remember I was wondering what that cord was, if his hands were bound or something, and you said that his headphones were in his hands. That's another thing we should talk about is his headphones, because I didn't know that before you told me.
Yeah. He did have his headphones, and I was telling them earlier when we kind of chatted on the phone about all of this, how are you going to go into, okay, you're going after your shoes, but you have your headphones in your hand. If you're going to go head first, you're probably going to put your arms out first. You know what I mean? You're not just going to dive in. But then you have headphones in your hand. Why wouldn't you just set them down beside you until, I don't know. It just does not make sense. I also found it so strange that when he was exhumed, his body was stuffed with newspaper and no organs.
Yes.
Yeah, I touched on that for a second, but yeah, we don't know. We need to get to the video.
I had watched the video when I was researching the case, but I don't know if it's like credible or whatever. But I was told, well, it said in the video, I believe it was like a Kendall Ray video. If y'all watched her,
I have, but
she covered. Yeah, she covered it, but she said the organs, I guess the funeral home had said the organs wasn't there because I guess they did it for them, like for the family. I guess they didn't charge them or something, but I'm not sure if that's true. I just that's what was in that video, but I don't know if that's true. I didn't read that in any article, but she mentioned it in that video, and I thought that, like you said, they were blaming each other for the organs not being there, like they said. The funeral home said, well, the GBI, I guess, was that what it was? That you said, they were like you said, they were blaming each other. So I don't really even know for sure, but that's kind of interesting if that's the case.
The Bell brothers, they worked for the GBI, just to let everybody.
Yeah. I think he worked for the FBI, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
It was for Georgia, or I believe it was Georgia.
So here's another shot of the wrestling mats that I'm seeing. Let's see. I have been told that organs aren't put back in after a post-mortem. Medical examiner said the organs were with the body, and the funeral home said they weren't. Yep. And it makes no sense. Even if they took them out for like a perfectly good reason, why can't they decide who did it? You know what I mean? Like, who took them out?
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was like interesting, that cell phone, like his mom tells them he doesn't have a phone, and then he's found with a phone. And then they said that he had actually called someone, or like had a phone call like right before, and the phone was sent off to GBI, was responsible for it, and no one's seen the report. So that would be really interesting to see who he was talking to. Oh, Truth Seeker, thank you so much. Praying for his poor mother, Jackie Johnson. Justice for Kendrick.
Yes. What a strange case.
Jennifer said she believes GBI is different than FBI. What I saw was that it was Georgia's bureau for the FBI. It's not like the state police. It's actually is part of the FBI, but just like Georgia's.
Yes. Yeah. Just like the Watts case, they had CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigation. They have different stations, through states and stuff.
Nellie said, please mute when you're coughing. I'm sorry.
I didn't even know you were coughing. So.
I keep having to clear my throat because if you talk a lot, it kind of. Plus, I have a retainer, so.
I'm gonna step away for just like 1 minute, okay?
Okay. Brennan tube. This didn't happen but a few hours for me.
Oh wow.
Mm. I had also
I was just looking at my notes.
That's okay. I also had seen some like people who had went, I think on my TikTok in the comments about this case, there was someone who went to that school. And then Amanda said that she, I think, had seen people talking that had went to that school on a YouTube video. Yes, they would have been removed for autopsy. They weigh them, but I think they put them in an incarcerator to burn them. Let's see. Let me see if I can find something for you guys. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Here's one. This is, oh, wait a minute, not that one. This is one of the shoes that was found there. And there is the blood that's all around it. But you see, that's what I was talking about. There's no blood on the shoe, which is strange. And CNN has done so many videos about this. Melissa, thank you so, so much. I love you. Melissa is so wonderful, so smart, so like, if you bring her on panel, she has so much interesting stuff to say. Like, I would love for you to come anytime you want. And then also very sweet. Thank you so much. Amy, I don't think it's normal, but from what I've seen, that some funeral homes who are like low budget will use newspaper.
Yeah, I wrote some notes saying that they, I think they did it to save probably on the cost since they were doing it for the family, which that's just what was in that video that I saw, but it's possible.
Yep, that makes sense. And I think I've seen in another case or somewhere else that sometimes they do that. I don't know. Let's see, what was this? This was about the case as well. I saved a bunch of stuff. Oh, this is about that Facebook post that I mentioned in the beginning, one of the red flags, like the day that it happened, there was a post that said, when you start messing with goons, bodies start showing up. Like, are you serious? What in the world is wrong with people?
Wasn't there like an audio or like confession that recently came out that, I don't know, I watched a video on it. I didn't know if you knew exactly what the wordage was of it. Do you know?
I don't know because, well, Amanda, when she gets back, we'll ask her, but I did write something down about it. There's like that people thought it wasn't legit and some do. I think the parents paid someone for it and the parents
they
gave
did.
it to
I think,
police.
yeah, I heard that part. I just can't remember exactly word for word what was said, so I don't want to say it because it may not be correct, but.
Oh my gosh, let me think. It was something like.
Okay,
like
I'm back.
regretting what they had done or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, something along that. Yeah.
Amanda, do you know what that audio that recent one, the one that the parents paid for?
Yes, I believe somebody from this person that was confessing, it was a family member of the person that was confessing. They recorded an audio of him saying basically it was a stupid thing. He did it when he was young. Kendrick didn't deserve it. He used his name specifically. And then it was sent to the family of his. And they asked them, supposedly for $1,000, and supposedly they paid $1,000 and retained this video. And then they turned it to the law enforcement after hearing it and stuff. And then I believe it. I can't remember. It was right around that time, whether the case was reopened or like right before that. But it was about 3-4 weeks ago, I believe. that they turned it in and it was released. Not the video was released, but the saying that there was a video, it was released. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was before they reopened the case, because that was just like right around that time, or that's why they reopened the case. So, but yes, there was a video from somebody saying certain things. Actually, if I'll post in the link if anybody wants to see it. It's not the video. They haven't released the actual video, but there is the mother of Kendrick, and then I believe a spokesperson for him, and then he kind of tells what the video is. But I'll post that in the link right now if anybody's interested.
I love that picture right there that's on the screen. I think, oh my God, it's just, and then I saw this, which was interesting. It says this is, which I'm not saying he is the killer, and I don't know who it is. You know what I mean? I'm just showing what I found online. I do think that there's a lot of weird stuff that points to this kid, and that's all I don't know. I'm not an investigator, but I did find it interesting. It's so sad that, everyone else gets to go on and live their life, but he don't get to play football or be on, magazine covers or play basketball or do anything. It's just, I don't know. He deserves.
That's the brother that I've watched over and over, that I just like have, like kind of chills and just, and I feel like the other brother kind of knows something or was there or whatever, and just kind of has to hold everything together, I don't know. It's always been this brother. I just remember his interview sitting on the couch, and the guy asking him, my camera's going to zoom in so viewers can see your face and stuff. And at that time, he was already like kind of biting his lip, just like, kind of nervous or whatever, and his shoulders kind of go in. And I
watched the interview. It is weird. It's like,
I've
so
watched them over and over and over again, both of them. And I totally get the same vibe every time.
Look here. This is why it says it was reopened, which is really interesting too. I'm wondering what these documents are. It says the Lowndes County Sheriff reopened the investigation Friday after receiving documents it had long requested from a Justice Department investigation. So something about those documents must have made it. I don't know.
Also, I want to add, in that video that was supposedly given to the family, it was stated that the person the person supposedly confessing was saying, what did he say? I'm going to post it again. I can't really listen to it while I'm on live or anything, but I'm going to get caught anyway. Basically like crying, saying he was going to get caught anyway. I found it right now, so I'm going to post it in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. I wish that I could get like some other creators on, because, okay, this is the thing. I don't want to only talk about Chris Watts. Nobody does. Most creators don't. I mean, they want to cover a few cases, but you get in this situation where the most people want to watch Watts stuff. So I wish that I could get other creators that have like a lot of people that love and support them and watch them to kind of give this case, like Larry, for instance. He has a political background. He knows how all that stuff works behind the scenes. Sheriffs, everything. Those are elected officials, and if someone that other people can talk about it and say, hey, this is a cover up, this is what's going on. I wish that we could achieve that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, this is the case that I got a TikTok that said that if I made any more videos about it, then I would end up, whatever too. I'm gonna see if I can find that actually.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy. How you doing, Dylan? You good?
I'm good. I'm just following along the best I can. I have a couple notes that I took, but
well, tell it to us.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what I was going
Yeah.
over. It was the organ thing, which I thought was weird, and then I also wrote down about the surveillance, like missing footage, and I didn't know if y'all, that was a couple of things that I wrote down.
That expert that was on there that said that he believes that it was pretty much altered and things were
Corrupted.
missing and stuff. Yeah. And it just supposedly happened to be around the time that somebody would, that after he went in and then it just disappeared. So after the cleanup time, basically.
And didn't you say that they waited like 6 hours before they called the
6
coroner? And that
hours. Yes.
Ridiculous.
that's crazy.
See, this is the comment. Mind your own business, which you could be next. So if you're watching, hello. Yes. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, George, get a life.
This guy, his thing was like really interesting to me because he comes out and he explained like so much of his thing just like explains, like he says he was hit with a dumbbell, which Amanda, didn't you see that somewhere else? Like he was hit with a weight?
I did. I saw that in a random. I wish I would have screenshotted it. I don't remember what video I watched because I was like, researching and everything. I watched so many, but I just remember seeing somebody's random comment saying that I went to this high school as them the same time, and all around high school, basically, we already know that he was killed with a weight from the gym. Not a dumbbell, but like a weight from the gym, and hit him in his chest. And I thought that was really interesting because if you look at his autopsy stuff, his chest is very bruised,
Yes, it is.
Bruised.
Melissa, thank you so much. And Truth Seeker, I don't know if his mom's ever been on a channel. I would love to have her on if she would be down for it, but I don't know.
Who is this man you have on right now?
Okay, so this is Ryan Hernandez. Okay. He went to police and told them that KJ, which that's what they call Kendrick sometimes, KJ was hit with a 45-pound dumbbell, and that he calls out police in his statement. You could probably look it up right now because I read the whole thing and I have some little clips of it. But he says that police deleted an hour of video footage. So, and that the boys told him that, the Brian and Brandon Bell, and he says that they removed the organs because of the time of death thing. Right after that, he gets arrested for trespassing, isn't given a bond, and then that's all you hear about him. So, weird.
Well, that's, I heard a little bit of that, but not all of that.
Oh, let me get
pretty interesting. That kind of goes with the, the gym weight.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like,
after I saw that, I've seen that a couple times, like he's been hit with something with like a gym weight or something, or a dumbbell. I've heard a dumbbell. So
didn't the pathologist confirm the blunt force trauma on the back of his neck?
Yep.
And that other autopsy, and it was like less than an inch bruise. That's what I got on my notes because it could go with that dumbbell theory, but I mean, it's crazy.
Yep. So the first autopsy, they said cause of death was positional asphyxia. Second autopsy, it was blunt force trauma to the neck and jaw area. And okay, blood spatter. Like Dexter, blood spatter analysts, they can figure out exactly like what position, what kind of blow, everything based on the splatter. I wonder what this kind of splatter would, mean to a specialist. That would be really interesting to find out. What do you guys think how that could have happened?
I don't know. I think it's weird that it's on the wall like that in a gym. Like you don't normally see blood.
If they had a maintenance person every day.
Right. I just don't see like
that would never be on the wall. And I believe other people have said that as well.
Yeah, totally agree. Criminal Imagination said that's a carotid spatter. I'm not sure what that means. Can you tell us? And I'll put it on the screen. Does anyone know if he was still alive when he was put into the mats? In my opinion, I think that it is very possible he was near dead and they thought he was dead. And
I believe that.
Yeah. It's a headshot hit spatter pick. Huh. Did this school have a wrestling team? Looks like it's spit with blood. I'm not sure. But I know that his body was found like during the school day. So you would think every evening the school, they clean up the school, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of that's blood.
Yeah. And then you have that hoodie, which I don't see it on there, but maybe in other photos they said it looked like blood on the sleeve on one of the cuffs, I think, but you can't quite see it right there. And
does anybody know anything about the where the Bell brothers were at this time? I believe they said in the interview, the only interview that I've seen, that they were nowhere near that. And but does anybody know anything different or on panel chat or anything?
Yeah, they were actually they were caught on the surveillance within minutes of when this happened. Yeah, and it's not the blood is not from KJ. They tested it and it wasn't his, but they didn't test anybody else. So,
oh Lord,
who knows if there's a discovery on this case? You can find so much. Just Google it. You can YouTube a video of the crime scene, which, oh my God, it is just so disturbing. When I watched it, the one I sent to you guys, it completely shook me to the core. Like, I had to take a second to get myself together because it's just really sad to see. And it's like, he's like halfway out of the mat. I don't know if they pulled him out to check on him or what when he was found, but
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the blood on the wall, Diane, was tested and it was not Kendrick's, but it was not tested against anyone else's DNA.
But it would be nice to see a blood spatter specialist to see like how those certain blood spatters would be. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that.
I totally agree. I think so too. A Criminal Imagination said I was being facetious with the carotid, but I Googled it. That cracked me up. I had to read that out loud. Pretty sure the info came from Lord and Arts. Maybe animal blood. Well, Miss Gigi, it's in the gym of a high school, I looked at the photos. Some of them are pre and post autopsy. I'm saying this is a signal. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like somebody put it there. It could be. And I think that it's staged. We all have to remember that this took place in Georgia. I mean, even now, like the racial climate, there's a lot of stuff happening as far as, Black Lives Matter movement and all of this. This was in 2013 and people got away with so much more disgusting racism and stuff. It wasn't talked about as much as now. And I think that might play a part in all of this too. And especially if this kid, Brian, his girlfriend sleeps with KJ, he's going to be so overwhelmed with jealousy. And then if he's racist at all, it completely like pissed him off. So I don't know. I think Miss Gigi. Yes,
I agree. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I had to stop looking at the photos. I've never felt like that before. Probably makes me a psycho, but Kendrick, that was like, okay, I don't feel like I can. I know. It's really, really, really sad. Feel horrible for him, for all of his family. And then, they're having to see this all the time, every day, which I'm sure they kind of want to since it hasn't been solved. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Miss Gigi. I love you. You're so sweet. Not a lot of people are butchers at 15, 16. I don't know. If they're in Georgia and they're rednecks and they hunt, they might be able to skin a deer. I don't know. Because I know where I'm from, when I was a teenager, all the kids knew how to skin a deer and do all that kind of stuff. You know, my grandpa and all of my brothers would kill hogs together and stuff. So I think it depends on where they're from. He's so handsome, and the other photos don't even look like him. I know. Let's see.
That's very true. So sad.
Go ahead, Amanda. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying that's so sad. I was agreeing with you. Like, because I've seen his autopsy photos, so.
Yeah, they're so sad. He is so handsome. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. God almighty.
Somebody in the chat said something about Jackie Johnson. I can't find it now, but if you want to re-say that your comment again, or how do you say remessage or message your comment again, you know, I want to read it because I do know who Jackie Johnson is. So
that's his mom, right?
Oh, I thought she was talking about the DA. Okay, never mind.
Stardust Shorty. Did you see this, Amanda and Dylan? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think we're on a delay a little bit.
It's okay. Sorry.
I thought
did you was talking about the DA is all.
Oh,
that's okay.
And I was like, wait, where did this case come from?
They did Stardust Shorty. Yes, they said that Brian was also on steroids and that he was raging, which I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I'm not really an expert on that. Did you guys hear that?
Is that that's the same brother that was on the picture, the football picture?
Yep. And here, let me find him again.
That's it. Brian?
Yeah. Yep. Brian and Brandon. And the Brian is the one
right?
that, yeah. And there.
Yeah.
And then
I believe they were on a wrestling team, right?
I don't know. I need to look into that. I know they played basketball. He actually had a basketball game that day that he never came home.
Oh yeah, basketball. Yeah, I want to say I come across that they wrestled as well, but it's just it's crazy.
Why does no one talk about how the first one can't even speak? Yeah, he does. And he says, me and my family have nothing to do with this. And you can just, I don't know, he could be really nervous, you know, but also it's like he has practiced his lie and he can't get it out or something.
Or he's nervous because he's lying.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, they were both wrestlers, the Bell brothers.
Yes, she's right.
Okay. So they both wrestled and then Kendrick didn't, I guess. Maybe. I don't know, you guys. I guess, I don't know. Do you think that now that the case is opened again that we will, oh, my hair's off, that we will ever get, the answers how powerful are these people that have made so many people look the other way and cover it up, you know?
Well, they reopened the case, so that's kind of, I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
I know the family had filed a wrongful death lawsuit, I think twice.
Oh, I don't believe I don't remember if that was what was filed, but something else.
I know I took a note. We'll see.
Hi, Kim. Thank you so much.
Sorry. You may be right. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wrote down Johnson family filed a $100 million lawsuit in January 2015. But that was in that same video, so.
Okay.
I was just more or less taking notes of what they said.
Do you know if the father is still with the FBI or is he retired now? Or hi, Amber.
He's retired now. I I do know that.
Okay. Well, that's
But
good
he
because
was an FBI. He was a part of FBI when this was all going on. And isn't that right? Yeah.
Yes. I believe it was GBI actually, which is the same thing as FBI, but just Georgia,
In Georgia,
yeah. And what I kept reading over and over is that he was like taxes and fraud and stuff. That was his specialty, I guess.
See, what I saw, I think that he was FBI. I need to double check that and find out if there is a difference and how that, because I don't want to tell you guys the wrong on here. So I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. But
yeah, I'm the same way. I don't want to say what's wrong, but
yeah,
I try to stay factual best I can.
Yeah.
So the sheriff's department, like I had said this during my whole thing in the beginning explaining, but before the autopsy was finished, before the kids had been interviewed fully, he put out a statement saying this was an accident. He had fallen into the mat, basically trying to shut everybody up, and he was a county sheriff. So that's interesting, but it doesn't matter because the FBI, I saw letters that they were sending the sheriff's department saying, please hurry up and wrap up the investigation. Like they were putting a ton of pressure on these guys. I haven't heard of this until now. I'm thinking logically because I did. I don't know, guys. Let's see if there's anything else I have to mention. I think that we should come back to this after we find, I would like to get a hold of the mother and have her on here.
Yeah.
That would be nice, yeah.
I have a interview with Kelly and Amber from CDT and Amber Truth Seeker on Thursday. Amy, thank you so much. Tell Larry we said hi. We're getting ready to end anyways, but thank you. FBI stands for Federal Bureau of Investigation, while CBI Central. But this is the GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation. And what I had seen was that was actually a branch of the FBI. But hey, can you check that, Amanda? Can you Google it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for checking on us. Need not take any permission from any state government while CBI. It may need and not of the Supreme Court. Yeah, it's pretty confusing stuff. I'd have to. I don't know. What do you guys think? Until the youngest. Yeah, he did say, sir, really weird. And, I mean, there's two kids who would not talk to police. The Bell brothers. That's the only two. I mean, thank you for being a great. Thank you, Miss Gigi, so much for coming and talking and everything. I appreciate it so much.
Okay, Allie, I'm sending you something on Messenger right now.
Okay. Independent statewide agency that supports the state. Oh, okay. So they're independent. Hold on, let me see. I'll save it. I'll show.
I didn't know really what to ask, what I was asking for.
That's okay. Let's see. Put it on the screen. Georgia Bureau of Investigation is an independent agency, but they still are all linked together. That's like police, cops. They look out, even the Army. They look out for their brothers in uniform.
If they had just one station of FBI, they would never be able to handle anything.
Right.
Janet said, middle of the night here, folks. Over and out from me. Kindest wishes. You are creating a great community. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Janet.
for being here with us.
I hope you have the best sleep ever, Janet. I'm not sure how they didn't have experts looking into this. I think they covered it up and made it as quiet as possible.
Yeah.
I think they tried to shut it down pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I guess we're done for now, and then I'll come back if I find anything or if I can get a hold of the mom. And thank you guys for coming on here with me and chatting and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dylan, I appreciate it so much. It makes it easier to talk to somebody than talk to let me get that off your face. Than to talk to oh, you're so pretty.
Oh,
Then
thank you.
talk to like a bunch of people. Amanda, why didn't you do camera today?
Oh, because I don't know. I didn't do my hair. I got my makeup done, but not my hair. So I wasn't ready. I wasn't YouTube ready. I had such a busy day today doing so many things. So I was like, everything was pressed for time today.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Well,
K9 Rescue, thank you so much. And Pixie Mermaid, yes, it does. Okay, guys. Thank you, Criminal Imagination. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for coming and spending an hour with me to talk about something that isn't talked about as much. Even if not as many people want to talk about it, I think we have to keep doing it.
I agree. Yes.
Melissa, I sent you a $20 super chat just asking if you happen to see Jessica's latest drop. Oh, Melissa, thank you so much. And no, I hadn't. I need to go check it out. Thank you so much. It has not came through yet, but I don't even know how to. I don't know much about all of that. I'm still new to it, so I'll figure it out. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, Kim. Stardust. Short. Thank you, guys. Bye, Dylan. Bye, Amanda.
Bye. Thanks for having me on.
Bye, girls.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
No problem.
Bye.